All right, we got cut off, so we just kept it going. We're gonna keep it going. You know, we okay. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up a little bit. All right. As I say, the '70s was not just soul music, crooning. It was also the era of disco. So that's why I like playing these old tracks, reviving the old tracks, because that's a form of music that nobody is listening to no more. It's kind of forgotten about, and you know, I lived through the '70s and I enjoyed the disco era and the music. So it's only right to bring that into the fold of my content, as I bring you music, so, it's a method to the madness. It's a reason for the season. And I like looking at the vintage outfits, the look of how they was carrying it back then, the bell bottoms, the jeans, how they wore their shirts all buttoned down to show the gold chains, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, they were fly back in the day. Everybody was slim and fit, you know, young. I like looking at visuals of when everybody was young, and it just take me back to, the good old days, nostalgia, and I don't know about you. I love reflecting, It just motivates you to want to take care of yourself, to keep looking good, and live life every day before you check out, because you only get one life, and you know I just feel like we just can't waste no time or no days. And I get it. People go through stuff. People get wrapped up in the situations, but I pray and I hope you find your way back to be able to enjoy the joy of life, no matter how challenging that it may seem. You know, everything in life is a fight, and in that fight, you're going to find your peace, you know, and you're going to find your peace. And what I mean by that is, I tell people, we and even myself, we're afraid to start over. We're afraid to try new things because it's new. But once you get started, once you get in the midst of it, you you gain and you develop a tolerance for what it is that you're doing. So what I'm saying is you get used to it. So it's not so challenging no more because you used to it. You know what you up against. You know what's expected. So you find some kind of comfortability in the midst of the challenges, especially if it's something that's repetitive. You know what I'm saying? You know what you're going to go to do, like your job. You know what time you got to get up. You know what time you got to be there. You know what you got to do. So in the midst of that, you find your sweet spot and your comfortability. If that makes sense to anybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, because, nowadays to maintain, I think we all working like excessive long hours, but it's what it is. Either you want to soldier on or you want to fold under the conditions of what we got to face every day. You know, so, you know, and it take a lot of discipline to stay on the right side of the fence and not go to the dark side. But if you're a thinker, you gotta weigh the options. Now, if I go on the dark side, I can make a lot of money. But what are the consequences? Death, death, jail. I might have to hurt somebody or somebody gonna hurt me. You know, you gotta think like that. Like I tell people, like, you ain't gotta worry about me stealing nothing from nobody or from nowhere if it ain't $1 million. And if it is $1 million that I'm plotting to steal, I gotta be able to get away with it at 100%, or I'm not gonna do it. That's just me thinking and not being a person of impulse that's just gonna react and think about the consequences later. That's how strategic you gotta be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad that in my journey, I developed that mindset to think everything through. Basically, it wasn't even me, it was part of my grooming. I was told that anything you gonna do wrong, you think of the consequences and what is the level, what is the percentage level that you're gonna get away with it. And if the level or the percentage of you getting caught is high, then don't do it. Don't do it. If it ain't a clean slate, a clean sweep, don't do it. So that's the kind of rational thinking that I always put myself under before I did anything or thought of doing anything. Cause you be like, when things happen, and you be like, what that person was thinking. You couldn't have been thinking to do what you just did. So what I'm trying to say is we have to learn how to be disciplined. The discipline is going to get you to not have a lot of impulse reactions that's going to cost you everything. I'm just saying. So the breakdown and the end of what I'm saying is sometimes it's just worth more to do it the right way and have longevity. You know, I think that kind of thinking allowed me to see 51 years old, and I'm getting ready to be 52. I've been in a lot of close situations, close calls. I've been around situations that unfolded, but because I made the right choices, I dodged a lot of bullets and pitfalls. So I'm just trying to help somebody that want to listen. When I'm talking to my son, I see him tuning me out because he don't want to hear it. But I keep bumping it to him because I'm telling you, you're going to face these situations and scenarios. And I would have failed you if I don't give you information or teach you anything. So when we're absent from our kids' lives, the game and information that we need to give them, they're gonna be lost out here in the world. And that's what we see with these kids now. A lot of them lost because nobody been giving them the right information. If you're not around to give them the right information, guess what? The world going to give them the wrong information. And that's how they're going to function and become dysfunctional. You get what I'm saying? This is how this plays out. You know, it's simple as that. You know, I'm just saying, you know, just like, these kids getting into entertainment and they just signing their life away because they have nobody, protecting them far as looking in on what they signing and what I'm saying, representation. So if you're not around to represent your child, then the world going to take advantage of them, like the record companies take advantage of people that's not in the know and vulnerable. They laughing all the way to the bank because they getting ready to make millions off of you, and they give you peanuts. Yeah, they give you a couple of dollars and let you relish in the fame of the attention. But the bottom line is, I should be able to feed my family and myself and live comfortable off my intellectual property of my creation. And that's what they're taking from these kids or people in general that's not in the know. They in the business of robbing people. You feel me? But when you educate yourself, they can't do that to you. Not to the magnitude of 100%. They still find ways to take from you because that's how they make their money. That's how they keep their mansions and luxury cars and stuff. You know, Mayweather, somebody got in his ear and say, you need to get away from your situation, buy your contract, and then, you know, you need to run your own independence. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the Mayweather story on the Pivot podcast. The NFL brothers, they got Mayweather on their show, and he breaking everything down of how this man is a billionaire, and he won't reveal how much he really worth because he ain't supposed to. But he's a billionaire boxer, and that's unheard of. That's why this man is special and iconic. He changed the narrative like Jay-Z did with the record business, him and Dame Dash. They came on a game. Dame was the business, while Jay was the talent. And Jay was savvy enough to learn everything that Dame and Dash was, everything that he was smart about doing. Jay-Z was a sponge. I want to know everything you doing. Michael Jackson had 3 accountants, and each accountant checked each other on the numbers, or he got rid of them. You know what I'm saying? And what was savvy about Mike, if he ever caught them together being buddy, he was feeling like you in cahoots, so I'm going to get rid of you. And each one of you jokers going to teach me what you know so I can count my money as well. I'm going to check all 3 of y'all, but I want one checking the other after the other. Kanye got 80 bank accounts. That's why he's worth $10 million. 80 bank accounts needs to hold $10 billion. That's crazy to me. So how many accountants do he have that count $10 billion? Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and them. You know what I'm saying? That's the stuff I wonder about. You know what I'm saying? You know. So yeah, man, I ain't gotta be long. This 15 minutes, a continuation of the video that cut off. And And I think that's all I'm gonna bring you for today. And y'all have a great day. It's getting warm, so daylight saving time is coming on the 13th, and they're petitioning to keep daylight saving time forward instead of it's going backwards in the fall and then forward. They trying to in DC, Maryland, well, Maryland and Virginia, but I hope DC fall in place if they pass legislation and be able to do this. We would keep uh time, daylight saving time, we keep that extra hour forward, because what that do and what that does, it gives extra daylight. Instead of it's getting dark at 5, we got 4 more hours. Well, really 3. It start getting dark. Instead of 5, it'll get dark at 8, and it'll be dark at 9. So for people that work long hours, like 12 hours in a day from 7 to 7 or 6 to 6, they can get off and still get a little sunshine on their face. You can still hit the park and play some ball or go jog or something like that. So I hope that that law and legislation get passed in this area, and therefore we can enjoy 3 more hours of sunlight, you know. And so let's see what happens. Governor Hogan, Governor Yankin in Virginia, and the mayor Muriel Bowser. you know uh I hope they all get on the same page and pass that legislation where daylight saving time will stay forward all year round for the duration. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it'll definitely benefit me. So I'm cool with that. So you know, that's what it is, man. I've been toying with the idea of making a video about Vladimir Putin and how he rose to power. And I'm at 17 minutes, so I'm gonna talk to 20 to get a solid 20 minutes. But anyway, uh, when I was going up to Townsend to see my son, I'm listening to BBC World Radio on the regular station, not on XM, not on Sirius XM, but on the regular radio station. I didn't know uh, the radio the regular radio station carried BBC World News, but I was listening to how Vladimir Putin was the prime minister that was appointed by Boris Yeltsin, and how he appointed him after firing 2 prime ministers because he needed somebody. Boris Yeltsin needed somebody to fit his narrative to appoint as temporary president while he stepped down, because Russia and the government or some kind of entity was bringing charges on him, like how our Congress and Senate was trying to, or how the government now is trying to get President Trump records. They was coming after him like that. So what Boris Yeltsin did, he got somebody to play ball with him, which was Vladimir Putin, who was a Soviet Union soldier in their military and was part of the KGB, which is the Soviet Union CIA, if you will. Like the CIA here in America, their spy agency was KGB. So this is where Vladimir Putin background come from. So he was on board to support Boris Yeltsin narrative of Boris Yeltsin stepping down, and he appointed him as the temporary president, and then he put a pardon on Boris Yeltsin away from getting investigated. He put him under a pardon where he made the charges go away. And then Boris Yeltsin goes on to win the presidency, and that was real unique. Allegedly, he was bombing like 4 areas of Russia, like apartment buildings, allegedly killing his own people to spark fear. And then it was a fifth building that whoever allegedly was working, this is what they saying, with Putin, and people felt, the conspiracy theorists felt like Putin had the KGB set these bombs to rain fear in the citizens, and then they blamed Chechnya, and he waged war on them and won the war because how they found out it was Chechnya, or somebody blamed Chechnya. The fifth building that was going to be bombed was not successful. A guy was out smoking a cigarette on a lunch break from one of the restaurants, and he saw a car pull up to an apartment building, and this was like random places in Russia. Uh, the guy said the people got out the car. It was like two guys, and it was a lady driving, and they had big duffel bags. And now he he was like suspicious, like, I wonder if they planning bombs. And then he said the tag looked funny, like it been altered. So the dude called the police, and they brought the bomb sniffing dog, and it was a bomb. So that bomb got discovered, and then it went all the way up to him as president. And the community, and you know the community and the citizens of Russia was like, you need to do something. Somebody is targeting us. So somehow Chechnya became the villains, and he waged war on them and won that war. So of course he was the hero, and they voted for him to become president in 1999. So this is how President Vladimir Putin came into power. You know what I'm saying? And the rest is history. He been running a dictatorship, and a lot of people are saying he's a hero because under Boris Yeltsin and the old administration, they were in poverty, and Russia has progressed under Vladimir Putin. People saying that the country is wealthy, it's jobs, and you can enjoy luxuries, and that wasn't the case under President Boris Yeltsin and whoever else before Putin. So so they stand with him at 100%, the citizens. And his shrewd business tactics come from being a military, Soviet Union military officer, and also a spy for KGB, you know, which is equivalent to our spies of the CIA, which is law enforcement, if you will. But, if you know about the CIA and their tactics of doing things, that's what the KGB was. So, yeah. So, yeah, I just thought I'd lay that information on you because as I take information in, I need to regurgitate it because it be on my mind. So that's another thing why I love coming to you guys on the podcast and just displaying information that I take in. Therefore is releasing ideas and information that's clogging my mind because a lot of people write down their thoughts. Now you're able to talk into a camera and mic and display it, and then you can go back and review it and keep enjoying it over and over, and then it becomes documentation for, it'll be a time capsule when you gone. It could be your legacy of information that you documented, recorded, and whoever enjoys it. It could be information, for information purposes. Is a number of reasons that this is a great situation. So I'm at 25 minutes. I'm gonna let y'all go. Enjoy your day. It's March 3rd. A lot of birthdays coming up, like my some mother, my nephew's son. They call him Duty. Tamani Jr. and my sister birthday is March 9th, as well as her grandbaby Duty. So yeah, March is very festive for us on the strength of them three birthdays. And you got daylight savings going forward, time going forward, and the 21st of March will be what will be spring. So spring is in 2 weeks, roughly 3 weeks. So it's getting warm now. Daylight saving, like, is approaching, and so time will allow you to see the sun up to 8 o'clock, and it'll be dark by 9. So March is a great month in itself, and to particular people like myself. So with that being said, I'm getting out of here. Enjoy your day, and peace. Like, share, subscribe. This Big Dave on Streets Finest. I'm your host. Thank you so much for rocking with me. Thank you again for the Alpo views that don't reach the 1,000 views, which is not easy at all, and it's very much an accomplishment. Being as though that you know I'm 3 months away from a year, so that's what 9 months I've been on here recording, and you know I done put in some work. I got like 300 shows, three almost 400 shows recorded, and I have 4,000 views uh recorded as well, because I'm keeping my analytics of what I'm doing, and YouTube is keeping it as well. So I had prior videos. I had prior videos before I started the podcast, and so they factor in them numbers as well. So I'm saying like almost 4,000. It's actually 7 or 6 collectively, and so it's all good at the end of the day. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I enjoy conversating, dialogue, debating, and I keep saying that because it's true. So even if I don't get monetized or make no money, I'm good, because I like doing what I'm doing, which is, I'm very talkative, and I like to interact with folks, on that level. I used to tell people, I used to get in trouble for talking so much in school. They will call my mother and say, David is very talkative, and he's disturbing the other kids. So my mom's had to come up there, and she'll stand outside the door and be giving me them faces like I'm gonna embarrass you if you keep it up. So you better calm your butt down and do what you need to do while you here, or I'm gonna be up here every day, and I ain't want that. That's not cool to have your parents at the school. You know what I'm saying? So I talked about one of the officers in DC, one of the police officers I grew up with. When we was in middle school, his mom's was up there all the time, so we picked on him a lot. Just calling him mama's boy and all that. That dude became a notorious cop on the street, and that was just aggression of people picking on him. And he was a monster, not in a bad way, but he went hard. This dude would run into cars that he got by himself. He would rumble dudes straight up, and this dude took judo, karate, MMA before all that was a thing, and he would bust you up. You hear me? So they had to make this dude a detective to get him off the street. That's how notorious he was. And that was just, he had all that aggression pent up. They like, we gotta get this dude off the street. He gonna get himself killed, or he gonna or he gonna hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? So, who he remind me of? Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon. How on the edge he was, and just you know, too daring, too gun ho. That was my man. I ain't even gonna call his name. He should be retired by now, but he was a fool with it, you know. And I'm gonna give you a story I told you before. He got called to a call. Somebody was on Good Hope Road in one of them stores, the mom and pop joint, the Korean folk, and the dude was stealing. And so they ain't want no problem. So they told him get out. And the dude was mouthing. He probably was high, and they were scared. They called the police. He still wouldn't leave. So my man show up and say, "What's your problem? They asked you to leave. You got what you got. Why you still here causing problem?" So the dude mouthing. So my man said, "I'm gonna give you 5 seconds to get out this door, and then you gonna have a problem with me." My man count to 5, and he locked the door. He say he put his gloves on, and he say, "Get on the floor so I can cuff you. I'm taking you to jail." And the dude was woo woo woo, take your badge and gun off, and this and that. You know what I'm saying? He took his badge and gun off and whooped the dog shit out this dude. You hear me? By itself, no backup. You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't no old dude. This was a youngin, and my man was in his 20s, so they was about the same age. And the dude was a little bigger than him. That's why he was mouthing and all that. And when you hide, you got extra strength on you. So yeah, it was like a straight beat down, hand to hand contact. You know, and yeah, it wasn't fair because he's skilled, but he representing the law, and he tried to let the dude go. Get on out of here. So the daggone, he was whooping this dude so bad. They called the police. They kept, "Look, come get this cop." And he didn't get reprimanded or nothing because he had a gun on him. I'm gonna end it like that. I'm out. Streets Finest, Big Day. Like, share, subscribe. Let's go. We in here.